everyone, this is Caitlin with Kait's Collectibles. I am here to bring another review of a Sailor Moon product. Today I am reviewing the Prism Stationary set that includes the transformation wands for the inner Senshi from the first season, as well as Sailor Moon's disguise pen or Luna pen. So this set was released strictly by Premium Bandai. So I had to order it from Japan through a deputy service. I know I've mentioned using a deputy service in a previous video. And the thing about using a deputy service is basically you're going to pay the Japanese price with exchange rate, plus some additional fees to the deputy for using their service and then shipping on top of that. As well, you usually pay a small amount for the local Japanese shipping to get the product to them in the first place. So sometimes it can be a really good way to get products like this that you can't get outside of Japan, or that have their initial release in the country and then you'd have to wait longer to get the North American release. Sometimes though, it's just better to wait for the North American release. I did not wait for the North American release for the very first Proplica, and I found afterwards, once it was available on Amazon, the price I paid would have actually been pretty well the same as what I paid for using the deputy service. So there wasn't really a big benefit to using them then. However, for a product like this, it was exclusive to Premium Bandai, so it was the only way to get it. So this set, as well as I've mentioned in a previous video, is an official Bandai toy product. And the sticker this time is gold. And you can see it's located on the bottom of the box. And because this one was strictly a Japan product, I didn't notice any English on this version of the sticker. They do have gold and silver stickers. Both are official as long as the product has it. So for the box set itself, I thought it was really, really nice that they displayed this with the window, because there's no stands for the pens inside, and really to take them out and put them on display somewhere I would need stands. This way they stay dust free as well, so I'm not trying to get dust out of all the little crevices on them. They also did, I thought, a nice job with the back of the box by putting a first season picture of Sailor Moon on it here. And like usual with everything Sailor Moon that has been coming out, it's extremely shiny. And while it's difficult to see, if you can see this little bit of a shimmer in the stars there, it's just a nice little touch on the box. Now, I was really surprised with the way they packaged this, because they did such an easy job of making it so you can access the pens inside. I did already very, very carefully cut the sticker so that I could get the box lid open. And there's no additional packaging on top of the pen, so they're just in these little plastic bases here that hold them in place. So to take them out, again, quite easy. There's the Jupiter pen. And as you can see, it is actually a real pen. So you can undo and use the pen just like that. And I believe you can also eventually, if you needed to and you actually were using these, you can change out the pen with fresh ink. So you can actually keep and use this pen like a real pen if you wanted to, which was a pretty nice little addition to these, because they are meant to be a practical stationery line. I personally would never use them that way, simply because I'm trying to collect them. If the ink dries out, I could just put a fresh pen tip in. It really wouldn't make a difference to me. And they just snap back in like that. So one of the nice things I thought about this set, and part of the reason that I got it in the first place, was because this is the first time that I'm aware of that they've released a product for the transformation wands for the inner soldiers from the first season. There was the set that was released back in the 90s with their R star transformation wands that had nail polishes in them, but they never released this version of the transformation wands. So that was part of the reason I bought this set in the first place. Normally I focus mostly on collecting Sailor Moon's merchandise, like her transformation wands, lockets, that sort of thing. And I don't necessarily collect anybody else's. But this was one of those opportunities where when I realized this was the only way they were going to release this product to us, I figured I absolutely had to get a set from Japan. I like that they included a little jewel on each one of the wands. Maybe not entirely accurate to the product, but you can see it there for Mars. Now, the one complaint I've seen that fans have had about Venus's wand is that when you compare it to what it looked like in the show, it's a little bit more yellow than it is orange. Usually her items are more orange in color. The jewel itself is perhaps maybe a little bit more orange than yellow. For me, though, that wasn't really a big deal breaker because this is the first time we've gotten a product like this. Now, the disguise pen, or the lunar pen, was the other item that I was really excited about getting, and that's partially because I had already purchased the Moonlight Memory reproduction of the disguise pen, and so I wanted to be able to compare what the two actually look like in person. Similar to the other ones, you can take this one apart and use it as an actual pen if you so choose. They did a really nice job with the detailing on this particular pen. There's the little crescent moon symbol there on the middle. The jewel is a really nice size, as well as the little red jewels that go all the way around it. I do feel like all of these clips, though, are a little bit impractical. If you were actually going to use it as a pen, there's no way you're going to be using this giant clip to clip it onto something. But I'm pretty sure that they just wanted it to be as accurate to the anime as they could get it, and they weren't really thinking people were probably actually going to be using these for taking and using in day-to-day. So I do have the Moonlight Memory series pen, which I'll be reviewing at another time as well with me. So just to compare the two pens, this one is the Moonlight Memory series pen, and this one is from the Prism Stationary set. So there is a huge size difference between these two pens. I would say that the Prism Stationary version is probably a more accurate product. Both pens have the gold banding around the midsection. And there's the little crescent moon on this side, so now that I have them kind of lined up to face the same direction. There's obviously a lot more detail on the Moonlight Memory series pen, however. They have the detail in the little clip, as well as around the crown. They've got more detail there. The jewel itself is huge on the Moonlight Memory series pen, whereas this one's much smaller. The Prism Stationary pen doesn't light up. The Moonlight Memory series one does when you press in the little clip on the side. The Moonlight Memory series pen as well can also be used as an actual pen. You just twist the bottom and the tip comes out there. Nicely though, this one, if you wanted to use it as a real pen, the ink can also be replaced in this version. So that's a little bit of a plus for both of them. I just find that when you think back to how it looked in the anime and how she actually held it and used it, the stationary pen is actually probably a little bit more accurate, whereas this one feels quite bulky, but it is a representation of what came out in the 90s. Just updated a little bit for new collectors. but side by side you can see the huge difference between the two of them. I do like the shape of the crown a little bit better on the Prism Stationary version of the pen. And I like that with the red they had the little jewels as opposed to just having the holes in the crown where that giant jewel shines through. But I do like the light up function on the Moonlight memory pen. So that's basically everything when it comes to the Prism Stationary set. Because it was released through Premium Bandai, I suspect that it's probably got a pretty expensive resale right now on eBay. I know when they first announced the product and people were taking pre-orders before they even had them in hand, the prices were shooting up quite high. I was luckily able, because I got it through a deputy, to get it at what the lowest price I could possibly get it at would be. I did get 2 sets and passed that savings on to another collector in Canada. So fortunately, it was well worth the money spent. So if you're someone who likes to collect the wands, the lockets, the transformation items, and you're looking for something that includes the other inner soldiers beyond the star wands from R, I would really recommend getting this set because they are pretty darn accurate for what they've produced. They are just basic pens. You're not getting any battery function. There's no light up, no sounds, none of that stuff with it. So if that's something that you're looking for, then there's no point getting this set because they're just a really basic set of pens. However, I was very happy with the purchase. So anyone who collects Sailor Moon transformation items would probably want to have this in their collection. So that's it for this item. So remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will happily review more items for you all as more of these 20th anniversary items come out. Thanks very much.